So, God of War LAUFEY has been announced. And knowing the maniacal Cory Barlog,
I have so many things in there that are just setups for much later and much later and really far later. So I'm a lunatic.
there may have been hints for this game right under our noses the entire time. I, for one, missed it in my 500 hours of playing 2018. I do want to clarify that most of the findings here are from Morse on Twitter. His link will be in the description. Please check him out. His desire for knowledge rivals even Odin. The first most notable find, in my opinion, is everyone's favorite aspect of the reveal: Frank, the cube. When entering Tyrs' temple to get the rune for Jotunheim, you may find many of Tyrs' treasures. And in case you didn't know, Tyr was praised for uniting all of the realms and even visiting other pantheons, which is how he requires all these random objects. Some of his relics include Egyptian items, Greek items, and yes, I don't know how they did it, hints at the cube. Now, after some recent interviews, we know this game was originally pitched with something much like the cover art we see to Deborah Ann Wall, the actor for Faye, all the way back in 2018. This is the same year the Norse duology began. We mainly see the symbol on some sort of canvas and a spear. But if you look even closer, it's almost built into the architecture of the entire room, and it's even on Faye's armor. Looking closer at the marketing, the main symbol for LAUFEY is a sort of golden bird. If you look at the marketing website, the name of the logo is a phoenix. The phoenix is also on a bag of ashes all the way in 2018, also in Ragnarok, and then is shown again in Kratos' shrine at the end of Ragnarok. Phoenixes, as seen in God of War 2, are reborn from ashes, just like LAUFEY is in this newest entry, where the reveal starts with her ashes rising up. This is insane foreshadowing. However, I do want to mention, in the Ragnarok Collector's Edition, Faye was portrayed as a sort of falcon in the pin set, so is it contradictory, is it not? I don't know, but insane foreshadowing nonetheless. I would also like to add that the symbol in the phoenix, this small blue square at the bottom, is on Faye's armor and is the same symbol in Tyrs' temple, most likely symbolizing Frank the Cube. Now, what does this mean? This could mean everybody who says that Frank has no place in a mythology was most likely worshipped in some kind of ancient mythology that Tyr came across. Perhaps Tyr knows Frank, perhaps Frank knows Tyr, knows of the Norse lands, I have no idea. But clearly, he was thought out, planned since 2018, and is revered as some sort of god, deity, what have it. Morse also found something relating to the masks in the art. The fact that it was directly said below the mask that Tyr befriended many cultures and was gifted with relics, leading to Odin disguised as Tyr saying, "This is why he was tortured," referring to that same mask. And I see no reason for Odin to lie here, because he's actively trying to shit on Odin the whole time he's pretending to be Tyr. If you recall, in Valhalla, the real Tyr counts as somehow a god who has died before.
Any questions as you go?
I've one. We were told only those who had died could enter Valhalla. But I don't ever recall hearing when you died.
A bit of a technicality, to be honest. It involved a workaround to regain the arm Garm bit off. Really only glancingly involved the underworld, but Valhalla seems to count it, I suppose.
After hesitating to speak, he then talks about how his arm being bitten off by Garm and traveling to the underworld to get it back somehow explains how he's been dead before. The explanation is okay, but in no way fully explains how Tyr counts as entirely dead just by traveling to the underworld. Perhaps Tyr has helped Faye and the Everyone, but can't tell Kratos, since we know that everyone exists outside of time and is in a separate realm entirely. I don't know. I'm just making shit up. But this also leads into another theory of mine that I feel people kind of overlook in the game. When Kratos grabs the rune in Tyrs' temple, he said it was blank. He tosses it to Atreus, who grabs it, and it begins glowing and affecting his tattoos as well. We can also see Faye's markings all over the temple. This is confirmed by the game and Barlog to be Faye herself drawing the path for Kratos and Atreus. Could Faye and Tyr have been working together to create the path for the new God of War? Could this be related to certain leaks mentioning Tyr? Will we be playing as him in the overworld? A flashback? In the Everyone? Who knows? But I have a feeling he is very integral to Faye saving / creating the path made for Kratos and Atreus. Especially because he helped the Giants leave and had to have helped Faye if her markings are in his own treasury. Tyr helping makes a lot more sense when you consider the heavy implications of time in interviews and 2018. This has been said by Cory to be important in future games, and I would argue it was pretty much irrelevant in Ragnarok, aside from Atreus being gone for a short while. So it has yet to have mattered much, leading me to believe it will in LAUFEY. I'd also add that even in the little promotional material that we got for LAUFEY, they felt the need to state that this game exists outside of the other realms and outside of time. He also mentions that the logistics of sending Yormi back are a story for an entire other game. This was mentioned after Ragnarok, by the way. Could we see the arrival of the Serpent? Will Faye travel through time herself when she escapes the Everyone? Does she blow the horn? Why would Cory go on a podcast and talk about Faye and Kratos meeting as a story for another time if he had always intended for this game to be in parallel with 2018 instead of a prequel? After all, the game was pitched in 2018 to Faye's soon-to-be actor, yet Cory on his podcast in 2018 sounds like he's setting up a prequel.
Talking about so that when you kind of see that story as it folds into him arriving in Scandinavia and meeting Faye, all of that is a really awesome story. But for me, a lot of people say, why didn't you tell that story? And it's chronologically it fits beforehand, but it is way more interesting to look back on that when you find out her power and control. If you find out who she is and you find all that information first, this story doesn't work as well, right? This reveal and this sort of bonding between these two characters. But now, looking back on how he got there, that to me is far more interesting because now you feel like you totally understand everything, but you don't.
Can you make a game where she's the protagonist, though?
Can you say
That could be amazing.
It seems time shenanigans, much like Cory's God of War 2, answer a lot of these questions. I believe all these aspects will come together and be answered in LAUFEY, since Cory's involvement is much greater than his role in Ragnarok, because he was director for this for a few years, and is now the creative overseer. I believe this game will elevate Ragnarok and 2018 incredibly, and redefine how we see the entire Norse duology. That'll be all for this short video. Once again, thank you to Morse. Incredible work. Please like and subscribe if you like God of War, JJK, power scaling, anything insanely nerdy. Come check out the live streams, and have a good one, my undead.